Okay, there's a new addition to the studio. It's a Kobol Expander from Behringer. And this is a recreation of the RSF Kobol Expander, which is a French monosynth from the early 80s. I've never used an original, so I don't know if it sounds that similar, but I think it's a great synth for the price. So I'm just going to play around with it and show a couple reasons why I like it. I got a MIDI keyboard here off screen, and that's how I'm going to be playing it. So it's 2 oscillator synth, standard 24 dB per octave low pass filter. I'm using 2 oscillators right now. You can detune them with this VCO2 beat knob, or you can do what I'm doing and have it preset to a certain range, so you can just turn it all the way up and get like an interval, like a fifth. Another thing I have patched here, I have the audio out going to the voltage processor, which can be an audio mixer or CV mixer. So here we're using it for audio. If I turn it up, it's going to the filter. At lower settings, you get like a little bit of extra growl. And at higher settings, it just totally overdrives the filter. Pretty powerful sound for a budget synth. It also has oscillator sync. And fully variable waveform on the oscillators. So if we move it on the sync oscillator, get a lot of different sounds. If we put it all the way up, we get pulse width mod, which is controlled by the LFO. This LFO goes quite fast and quite slow and can be pushed faster and slower with the rate. This voltage processor, in addition to being a mixer, if you have nothing plugged into it, you can use it as a DC voltage source, and it has a reverse out, so you can use it as a +10 or -10 and use that to push some of the parameters past their normal range. The LFO has square and triangle wave. And it has this volume control, which is normal to the oscillators. So if you want vibrato or something, you can kick it in like this. Get rid of the pulse width mod. So something you can do on this synth that is pretty uncommon is modulate the waveform from triangle all the way to square. So let's hear what that sounds like. Wrong plug. We'll go with this one. That's the LFO going so fast it becomes like a third oscillator. And we can try sending it to the filter. Modulating the filter at audio rate is some risky stuff. But you can get some interesting sounds this way. If we get rid of our feedback, we can use the DC source to push the LFO even faster. This LFO is a little bit weird. If you send it a higher voltage, it goes slower, and a lower voltage, it goes higher. So we want to use the reverse out. So you can get some pretty gnarly sounds this way. If you tighten up the envelope, you can get some sort of interesting percussion sounds this way. Another interesting thing you can do is use one oscillator to modulate the sync oscillator. So that's without the oscillator mod. A couple things this synth is lacking. It has no random generator. It has no sequencer or arpeggiator. It is maybe lacking a couple attenuators on the waveform input modulation, and I guess on the VCF frequency, it would be nice to have an attenuator. So some things that you could get for this are attenuator cables, mixer and splitter cables like stackables, a Kenton Pro Solo MK3 MIDI to CV converter would pair really well with this, because that would give you glide, which you could set different modes, and it would give you vibrato on aftertouch if you have a keyboard with aftertouch. So if you're thinking of things to add, I'd recommend sample and hold, and aftertouch keyboard, and a Kenton Pro Solo MK3, and that really pushes this thing into a lot more playable territory. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.